YouTube. My man Doc Dark 1985. His slogan is there's levels to this, and man, is it a lot of levels to this. It's a lot. It's a lot of levels to this gaming stuff. You know what I mean? I think I might have mentioned it before. If I didn't, I forgot. But there is a ton of levels to this gaming stuff, from mobile phone gaming, cloud gaming, console gaming, PC gaming. I mean, it's seems like an endless avenue of ways you can enjoy games, and the type of games, the genres, everything. He made a video. He was talking about cloud gaming is the future, and he doesn't know why we are scared or we are afraid. And I think that might be the perception, but the truth is I don't think no one is afraid of cloud gaming. It gets a lot of hate because of what it is. People in the gaming community who enjoy gaming, especially on native hardware, don't really appreciate generally don't appreciate cloud gaming or the idea of it. Now, you do have some, which I don't quite understand. People who actually own gaming hardware, from a PC to a console to you name it, that gives the cloud gaming, route, or service, or whatever you want to call it, a lot of praise. But generally, a lot of people just don't care about cloud gaming, bro. And it's just a lot of issues with it. It's a ton of issues with cloud gaming. And you can pick one. You can pick one. And I think the issue is people who don't see why there's a lot of hate for cloud gaming. I feel like they need to open their mind a little bit and just kind of look at it from our standpoint and just say, hey, I get it. Why it's not appealing to you, but you know what I mean? That's just my take on it. You know what I mean? But again, there's a ton of issues with cloud gaming. And I think another issue is cloud gaming service is just not put in its place. I think that the hype, it's like an over exaggerated hype for cloud gaming, and it's just not what it really is on any level. Cloud gaming has been around for a long time. The first time I've heard of cloud gaming was like in 2011. People talking about it was the future back then. People talking about cloud gaming was the future back in 2014 when PS Now hit. People still talking about cloud gaming is the future. Cloud gaming will forever be the future. Because the truth is, it just has its place. And I ain't got no issue with cloud gaming. I got no issue at all. As a matter of fact, I don't even look at cloud gaming as a threat at all. If anything is a threat, it's gaming services. That's more of a threat than cloud gaming. But I feel like digital distribution and gaming services is more of a threat than cloud gaming is, because cloud gaming just have so many issues with it, from taking up a ton of bandwidth to internet instability issues to data caps, you name it. Like I said before, you got to worry about the throttling from your ISP, data caps. You got to worry about your hardware working right. I'm talking about your modem, or even the device that you're using. That might not be reliable enough. There might be issues with that. There are just so many pipelines and gateways that you got to get through in order for cloud gaming to be a smooth experience. And I just don't generally see that. Especially if you're a gamer. Another thing you mentioned, Doc, is you said that cloud gaming, people have this judgment on people who prefer cloud gaming as they're not gamers. And truthfully, that is generally the issue. If you prefer cloud gaming, there's a high probability that you just like it enough to tinker around with it. And it's not nothing that you really care for or take serious. It's not like your main hobby. It's just something that you want to do to pass a little time. You know what I mean? Because nobody's going to put a lot of energy and effort in something so unstable as the internet. Because we're still dealing with unstable internet infrastructure in 2021. And who knows how long that could be. I don't ever see it ever getting there. But I do see cloud gaming as an option. And it will always be an option, I think. PS Now hung around for a good while. And but you know, you can download from that service. And the only I think if I'm not mistaken, you only stream PS3 games because you can't run PS3 games on hardware because of, you know, the whole cell processor issue from the 7th generation from the PS3. So yeah, you know, that's another issue. But like I said, it's the services that people find more of a threat in terms of ownership. I think that is just one of the biggest issues that gamers have generally when it comes to gaming services, as far as PS Now and Game Pass and services like that. But even that's not really as big as people would like to think it is. PS Now is not big at all. No one's really thinking about PS Now, really. You know what I mean? And Game Pass is not as popular as people want it to be. It's just not. There's just a lot of hype around Game Pass. That is the truth. There's a lot of hype around Game Pass, a lot of promoting and everything else around Game Pass. But Game Pass is just not what everybody think or want it to be. And you ever notice people who want Game Pass or say Game Pass is great as Xbox fans? Like, you don't necessarily hear a lot of just a gaming community and at a whole talk about how great Game Pass is. Like, it's not really, I don't see it at all. And if PlayStation fans don't care for PS Now, come on. I tell you right there. But anyways, not to veer off track or anything like that. Another issue with gaming services, more specifically Google Stadia, is the business model of Google Stadia. You're buying a game that you don't own. And not only do you not own it, but you have to stream it through a server, through somebody else. So you have to go through certain channels to get to the game that you purchased so you can play it. Who realistically, who wants that? Realistically. You know what I mean? If I buy something, I want access to it whenever, however I want, or whatever. Like, I don't want to buy something and then to get access to it, I have to, ping a Google server, and hopefully that works right in order for me to play the game that I want to play, that I purchased. People wonder why it gets a lot of hate. And regardless if you agree with it or not, you can't deny the fact that that's understandable. Why people would hate that service. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that that people should or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is at least see it from that standpoint. You know what I mean? Why it doesn't have this wide appeal that people think that it should have. That's why. And it's the same. That's the same with Game Pass. It's the same with Game Pass, bro. You know what I mean? I would say PS Now, but no one gives a care about PS Now, even though PS Now has, I would say, the same value as Game Pass. And that's my humble opinion. Like Doc said in his video, he thinks Game Pass is better than PS Now. I feel PS Now is better than Game Pass. And one of the biggest reasons is because you're paying $60 a year for, way more games. way more games. And we ain't gonna act like the games that's in PS Now is fodder BS games. Like, there are bangers in there, classics in there. If you can get in the Game Pass and you can hype up Gears 5 and 4 and Halo, games that's 4 years old and stuff like that, why can't you get in PS Now and enjoy and hype up God of War, Spider-Man, even 7th gen games that people was hyping up in Game Pass, like Halo 3, Halo Wars, and all of that stuff. Them old games in Game Pass, you can hype up them same type of old games in PS Now, and we can argue the whole day one thing, but again, when was the last time we seen a real day one banger in Game Pass where it was like, man, it makes you want to subscribe to that? Never. And I love MLB The Show, but I'm going to be real. MLB The Show doesn't have that kind of, it's not that kind of a game that make people want to just subscribe to Game Pass. You know? It's just not. It's just not. Anyways, like you said, Doc, people like what they like. You can't assume that people are afraid or people are ponies or fanboys because they don't accept a service that doesn't legitimately does not appeal to them. You just can't. You know what I mean? It ain't fair. Because the same way you have an issue with people labeling, certain gamers because of their preferences, you're doing the exact same thing with the stuff that you just said, Just saying, my brother. It's all love. It's fun. And, that's all I want to say, man. It has its place. All of these services has its place. Google Stadia has its place. You know what I mean? It's not as big and as hype as and great as people want it to be. It's just not. It's fascinating tech, don't get me wrong. But hell, let's be honest. xCloud is fascinating tech. It is. Right now, if you got Game Pass Ultimate, you can take your mobile phone and connect your Xbox controller and play your games on the go. Connect to a Wi-Fi connection and play your games while you're on the go. How cool is that? How cool is that for real? Oh, and we talk about on the technical side. How cool is that? Is it as stable as Google Stadia? I don't know. I haven't messed around with either one of them long enough to make a full decision. But I ain't gonna downplay Game Pass. xCloud. I ain't gonna downplay it. I'm really not. But it has its place though. And I have tried xCloud. I have. I even tried the beta program, and it wasn't bad. Under Wi-Fi, it was okay. It was okay. It was enough to do a little something. Just like it was okay. But I did do it under the mobile, and it did not work under mobile internet. It was horrid. It was horrid. Horrid. But that's all I gotta say. I can go on for days about this stuff, man. I really can. But I had to respond to it, man, because ain't nobody scared of no streaming service. Ain't nobody scared of that. But people are paying attention closely to what's going on with other things like digital distribution, DRM, gaming services like PS Now and Game Pass. All of these avenues that enables you to not own your games and stuff that you purchased and all of that stuff. People are watching closely with that. But as far as a streaming service, ain't nobody think about that stuff, bro. Ain't nobody think about it. I don't care about no streaming service. No one cares. No one. I promise you that, bro. No one's thinking about Stadia. No one's worried about Stadia. Stadia ain't never been a threat to anything. It was dead before it came. And when it dropped, it was really dead. Because Google wasn't even ready for it. It was one of the worst launches ever. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say, man. I just wanted to say my 2 pieces in it. 15 minutes, long enough. I don't mean to make these videos long, but they just be way too long. Rome, I'm gone.